To all the people that get bent out of shape, that I say muscle bulk when I am talking about women 40 plus fighting sarcopenia that you don't know you have. Here's what you have to reshape. Sarcopenia will happen to you. You will lose muscle bulk and it will sneak up on you because sarcopenia happens to menopausal women because we are losing our hormones. There are multiple definitions of sarcopenia. Here's one from the European Working Group. So sarcopenia, and they say in older people, but I am here to tell you, we are so far behind helping women before the shit hits the fan. I am sick of it. And I am going to tell every friend of mine that is 35 plus that this is where you have to start working, because I want to save women, not treat women. What if we changed the way we thought and helped? Anyway, another thing, here we go. Sarcopenia, the criteria for defining sarcopenia are low muscle strength, low muscle quality, low muscle performance. This is one example. The International Working Group defines sarcopenia as the presence of low skeletal or skeletal muscle mass, low muscle function. And sarcopenia happens with age. The thing that you think that happens because your metabolism is sucking because you're getting older is sarcopenia, y'all. It is the reason our arms look like ham hocks, and the reason you start to get cellulite, it's because your estrogen and your hormones are changing and your body's going with less muscle. From the age of 30, muscle mass decreases by 3 to 8% per decade. So when the people tell me they want to talk about bone health for women that are 60, 70, 80, I'm like, you just screwed over a lot of people for decades by not telling them. This decrease accelerates after the age of 60. We actually now know it accelerates exponentially in perimenopause, okay? Perimenopause, so before you even know the shit hits the fan, it's hitting the fan. Indeed, after the age of 70, the loss of muscle mass, happens. However, this decline varies by sex. In this general population, estimates of sarcopenia is varied from 9 to 40%, depending on the definition. But if you go with sarcopenia as muscle loss, we are losing muscle at 40. It is because we're losing our hormones, and it's a decrease in estrogen, and I have low testosterone. So if you got those two, you're super rocking. The most important estrogen you need to know is estradiol, which is E2, and estradiol is the most potent and most abundant estrogen during a woman's reproductive years. It has a beneficial effect on the skeletal muscle by stimulating satellite cell proliferation. That is so important for any orthopedic-like conversation with hormones in women's health. Skeletal muscle or skeletal muscle can respond to estrogenic hormonal control due to the presence of specific receptors for E2 at the level of muscle fibers. Additionally, estradiol can limit inflammatory stress damage on your skeletal muscle. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Estrogen, mainly E2, may be directly involved in the muscle metabolism by binding to estrogen receptors expressed on skeletal muscle, as well as indirectly by altering the secretion of growth hormone and insulin growth factor. Estrogen may also play a role in regulating carbohydrate and lipid metabolism by relieving muscle glycogen and inducing lipid oxidation, which may influence skeletal muscle composition in postmenopausal women. Therefore, the important decrease in estrogen levels with menopause may play a potential role in the muscle mass decline observed after the 5th decade of life. In fact, the decrease in estrogen concentration is also associated with an increase in pro-inflammatory cytokines, tumor necrosis factor, interleukin 6, which might explain the apparent sarcopenia. Now when I tell you to increase muscle bulk, it is because y'all are atrophying. I am not using bulking, the verb that weightlifters might use. I am talking about muscle bulk. Now, specifically, I care about strength and function, but if you had a DEXA scan for your bone density and your fat and your muscle, you would see you had a loss of muscle bulk, because a DEXA scan doesn't check your strength and it doesn't check your function. It will tell you are if you know this, you know that you weigh the same, but you don't look the same. Your clothes don't fit the same because your body is different, because your muscles are going like your boobs, like your butt, everything's. And I want you to fight it. If you knew you were going to lose, wouldn't you bulk up? Because I am prevention, not treatment in my goal. So this is why I say muscle bulk. And yes, I could say increased tone, but I actually don't mean increased tone. Tone, when you look at the technical definition, it's the muscles resting activity. I really care about you having increased strength and increased function. I care about your mobility. But if we were to do a DEXA scan, I would like to see that your muscle mass was increased. And if you would like me to use the phrase muscle mass, I can. But when you look at the research articles, people don't talk about this enough. And when you talk about how to solve it, the problem is even these articles that can like talk about the chemistry, they share outdated information on how to fix it. We can't do, 3 sets of 12. We have to literally act like a weightlifter and bulk up. And we have to take creatine, 5 milligrams. 1 milligram makes no difference. 5 milligrams is enough to make a statistically significant change. And yeah, so perimenopause chicks are kind of like bodybuilders bulking up, but we're just trying to save ourselves.